Hi everyone, welcome to the ChrisTEpps Escaping the Borderline channel. Okay, so I've got a lot of ground to cover today on this subject, and it is using Bitcoin to get out of an abusive relationship. Now, if you've been in an abusive relationship for very long, you've also likely suffered the effects of not just physical and emotional abuse, but also financial abuse. Meaning, they've insisted that your paycheck is direct deposited into a joint account. You can't get much access to your money. You can't do a lot of things that you would like to do. And you may have even had to discourage friends and family from giving you money because you don't have a secure place to hold on to it. Here's what you can do, okay? Bitcoin. Now, I'm not saying it as an investment measure, but if the value of the Bitcoin that you buy today is worth something more when you escape, awesome. If it's not, that sucks. But the point is, you can use it as a holding mechanism for your money, and I'm going to explain how. Okay? Don't look at it as an investment. Do not treat it like an investment. Don't let that happen. Stay focused. Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency. Its value is going to go up and down over time. But what you buy today is pretty much going to be worth that much or more later. But right now, you're looking at it as a long-term safe savings account solution for yourself. That's how I look at it. I highly recommend you consider my opinion on this subject. So anyway, you can go to localbitcoins.com. And before you do that, get a different browser on your mobile device and only use the incognito mode or the hidden mode or whatever mode it's called on that browser. Do not use a browser that you have to sign into, such as Google or Firefox. I recommend even against the mobile versions of those for that reason, because your abuser can pull, if you use the same browser that you use, say, on a computer or some other device, they can go into your account that you probably have to keep unlocked so they can look at it whenever they freaking want to. And they're going to see that you've been to this site, that you've been looking at this stuff. Don't do it. Get a different browser for your mobile device. One that you're not attached to, one that you can remove and put on there on a fairly regular basis. Look for something small and just use that for this, okay? And I'd recommend once you have your local Bitcoins account set up, you only use that browser for that. That way you get into the habit of it, okay? This is about developing safe habits for yourself. Now, let's say you've gone through the App Store, you've got a different browser, it doesn't require you to sign in. At that point, you go to localbitcoins.com, and I'm going to put them down below. Look at the various buying options that exist for Bitcoins. Find one that you think works for you. Now, in my case, I buy all my Bitcoins with Amazon gift cards. I do, for every $100 of an Amazon gift card that I buy, I usually wind up getting anywhere between $60 to $80 worth of Bitcoins. Now, that's going to seem like a steep haircut. It kind of is. However, what I'm paying for is secrecy. Okay? Because my local Bitcoins account and my Bitcoin wallets are not in any way publicly attached to me. They can't be publicly searched. And as long as you don't tell anybody that you're doing this, you can keep it all to yourself. Okay? Let that be your safety net. Because you can, at a later date, you can exchange that Bitcoin for hard cash if you need to. All right, I'm trying to work something out of my teeth there. Anyway, so you always have that as an option. Now, localbitcoins.com acts as an escrow agent for Bitcoins. You go on there, let's say you do what I do with the Amazon gift card, and you find somebody who's willing to sell you $100, who's willing to exchange a $100 gift card for Bitcoin. Now, again, there's that steep 20 to 40% haircut involved. Get over it. I'm going to tell you why in just a moment. Now, Okay, so I'm not getting quite the percentage that I wanted, But that's okay, because Bitcoin is going to be worth more over time. Give me one moment here. Okay, so, as I was saying, the escrow site, sorry, I have to get back into my mindset here. I tell them that I want to get that I'm willing to spend that much. The seller agrees to sell me whatever they agree to sell me, and we start the transaction. I start the transaction by telling localbitcoin.com that, hey, we're starting this transaction, and then they hold on to whatever that amount is until the seller confirms that payment was made. Once the seller confirms that payment was made, I get my Bitcoin. It's that simple, and it goes into a wallet on localbitcoins.com. Now, what you can do then is, once you have enough money built up on their site, is that you can transfer that to any Bitcoin wallet that you want on any site, anywhere. And I'm going to link below to one of the savings account sites that I use. It's called Magner, MAGNR.com. Magner goes through periods where they're not accepting new accounts. But, again, that's honestly, that's up to them. But even when they're not accepting new accounts, they still pay out interest on the people who have accounts with them. And they pay out that interest in the terms of 1.28% of whatever amount of Bitcoin you have. So, if your $100 worth of Bitcoin is worth $100 today, it might be worth more money down the line, or it might be worth $100, or it might be worth $90. It doesn't matter. Magner is going to pay you based on whatever your amount of Bitcoin is, at a rate of 1.28% interest. Okay, that is more than you will get from any savings account at any bank. Now, I'm not shilling for these guys. I get nothing out of recommending them, except the satisfaction of knowing that I'm hopefully helping somebody. Well, no, I can't even say hopefully. I know that this is going to help somebody who listens to it and pays attention and just follows the steps. Now, again, let's go over them briefly, okay? Have some money together. You don't want to buy an Amazon gift card with your shared bank card. Okay, however you get money, I would recommend, if you don't have a job like I do. I have 2 jobs where I get paid cash money at the end of every day. If you don't have a job like that, or you're not in the gig economy or something of that nature, this is what you can do. Okay, you can shop at, like, let's say a Dollar General or something like that, where you can get $5 to $10. Well, locally here anyway, Dollar General allows you to get as little as $5 back on a debit transaction. Now, particularly if your spouse isn't entirely hawkish about watching the bank account, let's say you buy a bunch of cheap things at Dollar General or Fred's or Family Dollar or one of those stores, and you get that $5 or $10 back as cash. Well, you've got that. I'm not above saying it. If they think that all your money is shared, well, go into their wallet, search change. You can then also, if you have relatives or loved ones that are willing to give you cash money, you can take it, hold on to it, and like I said, no more than $100 at a time. Okay, you don't want your abuser finding a stack of 100s that you haven't cashed in yet. You have to do this every single time. Okay? But you get your money together, however you plan on doing it, whether it's, debit card transaction overdraws or something like that. You get your money together. If you have the flexibility of being able to go to an ATM and, tell your abuser that you needed the cash for something or the other, then do that too, okay? Doesn't matter, but you work it out. And get your cash together. Get $100, go to localbitcoin.com, see if you can find somebody selling what you want. Then go and do this before you go into a store. Get your Amazon card. Follow the process. Now, you might be asking, what's the turnaround time on this? From start to finish, I have never had a turnaround time as far as like I choose to go into the store, get my Amazon card, come out, make the transaction, and get paid in Bitcoin, okay? I have never had a transaction that lasted longer than 20 minutes. The people that do this want to keep doing it. They treat it like eBay, okay, where there's a rating system. They want to stay highly rated. Now, once your transaction is done, you're going to get the opportunity to fill out a brief survey on how it went. Be honest about it. Fill it out, hit send, and get out of the browser and delete the browser from your phone. You have to do this every single time. Now, that being said, of course, set up a separate email. I didn't think I had to say that part, but I'm going to mention it anyway. Set up a separate email that only you have access to and that you only use for your Bitcoins. That you only use for your local Bitcoin, for your Magner account. Set it up so that only you're the only one that knows it. And keep it easy enough to remember, but make the password something a little bit harder. Let's say there's a quote that you like. Okay, let's use that as an example. Well, if you take an acronym of all the words in that quote, let's say, quoth the raven nevermore. All right, just as an example. What do we have there? Quoth, that's Q, the T, QT, raven R, nevermore N. So QTRN, the year of your birth. There you go, okay? That's just a simple password. You may be compelled to put like an exclamation point or a question mark or something in there too. That's up to you. Keep it simple but unguessable for your abuser. And use that for your Bitcoin accounts. That way you're used to putting it in there. You're used to the rhythm of putting it in there on your touch screen, on your phone. You're used to being able to go in, do it, and get out. That's what you got to do. Okay? Again, don't think of Bitcoin as an investment medium. It can be. It can be. And the odds are, because of the way that Bitcoin works, and you can look up all kinds of information online for how it works and why it works, the odds are any Bitcoin you buy today is going to be worth more over time, particularly if you're not planning on getting out for another, year or two, in my case, 5 years. That's why taking that initial, haircut of 20 to 40%, over time it's forgivable because of the interest rate in the Bitcoin bank accounts, okay? Which are going to pay you like 12.80% or more, actually closer to 15%. You're going to get that across the course of a year, okay? Plus, Bitcoin's value going up over time, even a little bit, is going to matter when you're trying to get out. It's not like having your stuff in a bank account where, it's the money gets devalued over time and your interest rate is abysmal and you might wind up having to cut into it. Bitcoin, thankfully, is not easily spendable right now. You can't just go buy a gallon of milk with a Bitcoin wallet on your phone. Eventually, you may be able to, but not right now. Okay, that is also its main strength, is that you can't get into it and use it easily. So there are a lot more pluses here than there are minuses, and I encourage you, if you want to know more, go research it yourself, but never from your main browser. Only from whatever browser you settle on that isn't your main browser. Don't think you're going to beat the system either by going into Firefox and selecting incognito. If you use Firefox on your home PC, do not fucking use it on your phone, okay? That's all that I can tell you today. Have a great day, everybody. If I've helped you out and you have some spare bits lying about, please consider sending some to my Bitcoin address down below. Thank you very much. Have an awesome day. Bye-bye.